Hey, what's going on? E. Jones, bottom to the top hoops.
Black Elvis, we're in the building.
We are in the building on a bright, early Monday morning. Man, first of all, Al, you know I always give a shout out to the team, D. Jones, Jerry Ice. Make sure you check us out, Apple TV, Spotify, YouTube, bcomtv.com. How was your weekend, brother?
Pretty good weekend. Long. Happy to be here early Monday morning and get this content.
Yeah, man, we definitely productive though. Productive.
Absolutely.
Before we get started with the show, I just want to give a big happy birthday and a salute to my brother, True Smith, our brother, True Smith. 50 years old, 50 years young, 15 years of the True Smith Youth Empowerment. I believe it's 7 years of Team Chew, AAU basketball team. So big shout out to that brother, big figure over in Baltimore.
God bless, doing big things. Where you at right now, E? Where you at?
I'm in B-Mall, baby. I'm taping from B-Mall live. It don't matter. It got to go down. You heard?
It got to go down, yo. Got to go down. So, yo, while we here, let's talk a little bit about Chew's organization and some of the beautiful things he's doing in Baltimore.
Well, man, some of the kids that are most that's synonymous with his program, Danny Shan played at UDC. Daquan Bracey played at Louisiana Tech, has a chance to be an NBA player. And Damon Chunquis, who is obviously at Mount St. Mary right now, played at OSL, and he's a junior guard, and he's probably one of their best players, if not their best players.
Yeah.
You know, just really mentoring kids, saving lives, mentoring parents, doing community work, and there's some big projects coming up that, you know, we've talked about and worked on, man. And, you know, we've been out to All-Star Weekend with Chew, Big Three with Chew.
Always show love.
Always show love, man. So salute to Chew Smith.
Happy birthday, Chew. God bless you and your children, man, your family, man, and just keep on pushing, brother.
Yes, sir. So, Al, I wanted to talk about, you know, I'm riding high from last week's show. NBA draft, our 7-piece, lucky 7, what I like to call it, you heard? Mm-hmm. And want to just talk about, you know, everybody's like, oh, that's cool, but what's the follow-up look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have coming down the pipeline? Like, what does the next class look like? Can you do it again?
Well, I mean, let's deal with the reality of it right now. Right now, we looking good. Well, we got a couple in the chamber.
And I'm gonna let you speak to that, brother, because at the end of the day, I think what everybody wants to see is consistency, right? The sneaker companies, the colleges, the NBA. When New York does well, basketball is in good shape, especially from a financial perspective.
Absolutely.
Like, the New York Knicks getting Obi was a big deal, and bigger than a lot of people know, because it gives the franchise some hope for the future. And the Knicks always deal in the now, and they never build through the draft.
Yes, right.
And he represents that. Let's hope that comes to fruition. But just talk a little bit about the players that are coming up. That now we want to preface this by saying players who we think have NBA potential that are currently playing basketball, college basketball right now, based on what the scouts are saying and what basketball people are saying, and not popularity or, you know, our opinion. So if you could talk a little bit about that, Al. Go ahead.
Coffee Cockburn.
Yeah, man. Illinois. Yep.
Illinois, man. Awesome year last year.
Well, McDonald's All-American, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thought about coming to the NBA, entering the NBA draft, withdrew his name back out, went back into college. Definitely one of the top 5 big men in the NCAA right now. James Bouknight is a kid who is a Lower East Side kid. Played at LaSalle, then transferred to McDuffie. That's where he really started getting his momentum. he won a state championship at LaSalle, actually. And he went for greener pastures, and he just took off. 6'5", dynamic shooting guard. They have him as a projected first rounder next year. Average about 16 a game at UConn. Definitely a potential first round pick. Who else we got?
Bryce Willis.
Well, Bryce is a kid who is at Stanford right now as a junior. Played at Iona, Westchester kid. 6'6", 6'7", dynamic wing. I think he's a consistent jump shot away from being a legitimate, like, NBA second rounder. That's what I see him as in terms of projecting out.
Okay. What about Bryce Aiken? I remember years ago when my boy Shavar Newkirk was on the circuit. Big shout out to him and PSA. And they always had internal conflict. Like, they would argue Bryce was better than Shavar. Shavar was better than Bryce. You know, it looks like they're talking very highly about Bryce right now at Seton Hall, saying that he might can step in and fill the other guard's place.
I think Bryce, just with respect to him coming out of New York City and playing at Harvard, Bryce's big thing is he's got to stay healthy, right? If he can stay healthy, I think we can see the best version of Bryce. I think Seton Hall style fits him. He's got a one and done to be able to show what he can do. Obviously, he's a very intelligent kid, very, very talented. Seton Hall's got some pieces around him.
They do.
And I think it was a good fit. I think it was a good choice. He's back home in the New York metro area, and I think he's got a shot. I mean, I wouldn't look at Bryce right now as a draft pick, but he could play his way into that right now. But he has NBA potential, I would say.
Okay, that's a good look. They talked very highly about him the other day when I watched the game.
For sure. What's
the big man? Musa from Memphis?
Yeah, Musa Cisse.
Musa Cisse.
Musa, he's an interesting player because he could be a one and done. He could be a guy that goes to the NBA G League, a transition program. He could be a guy that well, actually, he could play in the G League because you can't go to the transition program out of college. I stand corrected. But Musa, 6'9", played at Christ the King, transferred to a school out in Tennessee, I believe. Just dominated. Really, really a rim protector. Offensive skills is a little bit behind his defense, but he is projected as an NBA draft pick. So his development at Memphis will determine where he goes or if he has to stay in college another year. But they're hoping he could do a reincarnation of Precious Achiuwa. I don't think he's quite as offensively gifted as Precious, but the athleticism, the motor, and the defense is definitely on par with Precious.
Gotcha. All right, Joe Toussaint. What do you think about Joe Toussaint? He's had a pretty solid, freshman? He made the all-freshman team.
Joe is a kid, Cardinal Hayes, Bronx kid. Big shout out to Joe. Showed he could really run the point because remember at Cardinal Hayes, he was a kid who he shared the point guard duties with Juju. They used him in a role as a scorer, but Joe is a kid who really showed he could run the point, run the show. I was a really, really good team. I think for Joe to be able to kind of make that jump and be in an NBA conversation, he's got to be able to make shots. He can get downhill. He can defend. Super tough kid. He's got to show how dynamic he can be. And I think realistically, he's 1 year away from being in the conversation. You got to have a breakout college year this year, and they got to win. And he's got to. I think he's on the outside looking in right now.
Got you. What about Julian Champagnie?
Well, he's one of the twins from Bishop Loughlin. You got to bring his brother into the fade too.
Where's he over at Pitt, right?
He's at Pitt, and Champagnie he's probably St. John's best player as a sophomore. Very versatile, can score the ball at all three levels. Has length and athleticism. I think the thing about him is they want to see if he can defend his position, if he can rebound from that 3-4 position. And and can he lead St. John's to being a viable competitor in the Big East when they're not really heavy on talent at St. John's, but if you know a Mike Anderson team, they're going to compete, and I think they're going to surprise some people. So Champagnie, I think he can help himself because of his size. He could sneak in and be a sleeper for the draft this year, and his brother.
Yo, I got to give a shout out to your boy, Posh Alexander. Did you see how he changed the entire scope of that game just by playing defense, just by being up, playing 90 feet, turning his man? I was just so proud and so happy for you guys over there because you guys are truly building a program, man. These kids you can see it. You know how kids kill in the high school level and then they get to college and they're averaging 4 and 5, and it's not really because of the kid, it's because of the system. They got to learn the system. They got to get up to par. It looked like Posh got there and fit right in right away. How you feel about that?
Well, let's talk about that, man. You put kids in a situation to be successful, and you hope what they learn at the high school level is translatable to the major college level. And you just don't know, right? You don't know what their aptitude is, the learning curve. Posh went there in July, and that's the benefit that we had in New York is that we got the virus under control, and kids were able to kind of start practicing in the summer. They got shut down. They came back. So I think, to your point, you can even give them some more kudos because it was a shortened preseason. Hit the ground running. I think it speaks to his toughness.
Yeah.
That's what he came with. We helped hone it at OSL. And, and big shout out to Dylan, even though I don't think he's on that NBA conversation yet. He's having a solid beginning of the year too. But as far as Posh, it really comes down to one thing. Can you make shots at a high level? He can defend. He can break the defense down. He can create havoc. He can assist the basketball. He knows how to run a team. I think, again, if he can lead St. John's to wins, people will really consider him. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but I think he will be in the conversation because he's so athletic, so dynamic, and he has that one intangible. He has that dog in him. And,
he got that dog in him.
Yeah, and that's at the NBA level, like, what's your motor like? And I think his motor's always on.
Motor's crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, another kid, very proud, R.J. Davis. Played his first game with North Carolina when he was at Stepinac. I didn't think he was North Carolina. But the funny thing about it is when you see these kids in school, it's a whole different flow than when you see these kids AAU. Well,
R.J. Davis was a kid who always understood how to play. And this is a good job by North Carolina recruiting, because a lot of times people will just get talent that don't fit a system. And R.J. Davis fits a system because, remember, who do you know at North Carolina that averaged 25? Nobody. North Carolina that averages 20. A chosen few. But there's a lot of people that average 11 and 13 and they make it to the NBA. R.J. Davis was easily getting 30 in high school, but he could also be effective getting, 9 and 4. And you can get to the NBA averaging 9 and 4 at North Carolina.
Yeah.
At Kansas, right?
Yeah.
Those systems are set up for that, but they run NBA stuff. They base it on IQ and your ability to make shots, what he can do. And R.J. Davis plays the game from the neck up. Not going to blow you away with his athleticism, although he's a solid athlete, but he defends his position. He makes shots. He makes the right reads. And I think he has an NBA mind. Now let's see if he has an NBA game. I think he does.
Got you.
Who else we got on the list?
Let's see.
I got one.
Who?
Chris Duarte. Played with the New York Lightning. 6'5" guard. Goes to the University of Oregon.
Okay.
Just a dynamic scorer. Right now they have him late second round. he's from DR, but he came to New York, played with the Lightning, went to prep school up in New England, was in the Knapsack, played at Redemption. And I think that Chris has a legitimate shot. NBA people just love his ability to score the ball. And I think we're going to see a couple of 30 balls and maybe some 40 pieces of Oregon. So I'm claiming him because he played in New York, lived in New York for a little while. So Chris is a guy who definitely has NBA potential. But
yo, what's that kid from what is that? Texas A&M, man. He been killing too.
Oh, Hasan Diarra.
Hey, you know these kids off top. I say to school, you know them.
Yeah, PSA kid, played at Putnam Science, and we always watched Putnam, and Hasan would, he was going at everybody, but he was never right. He was never that kid that everybody talked about, because what does he do? He's a good athlete. He makes shots. Is he a 1? Is he a 2? He's tough. He's a Queens kid. Like, he never jumped off the page, but he was always there. You always saw those stats in the column, right? He was always 25 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, tough defense, always play hard. In his debut at Texas A&M, he goes out and gets 14, 6, and 5, and it's like, all right, let's talk about it. SEC play, that kid could easily sneak into the first or second round, man, because he's a gamer. Let's throw the positions out for a second. Hasan Diarra comes to ball every time. I co-sign that kid, man. He gets to it. Wouldn't be surprised if he sneaks in, whether it's this year or next year. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on that kid, man.
Overall, how you feel about high school? College ball being back, man.
Yo, man, I've talked to so many people, and it's beautiful just to be able to watch a game. I didn't know how I was going to feel without the fans in the stands, but big shout out to the networks getting those tight angles, right? Now, so that's the production side of me coming alive, knowing that be able to give a good viewers experience.
Yeah.
So I've been really, really happy about being able to watch multiple games. Some of the kids that we know, big shout out to all our OSL guys, Zaire Porter, Damon Chunquee, Ish Valdez, Posh Alexander, Amadou Sia, the list goes on and on, man. My man Kyle Harden. So the kids are spread out. I'm watching them on one TV. I'm watching one on my phone. I got one on the laptop. Yo, man, it's a joy. People are like, man, what do you do for fun? Watch the kids that I helped develop go out and hoop and just have their dreams come true. That's give me a little I can't eat the deli turkey and cheese no more. You know what I mean, with the new diet, but give me a pizza, a little Kool-Aid, L.
A little Kool-Aid.
And a Saturday morning college basketball into the afternoon, man, and I am content and happy. What's your initial thoughts, man, on the games you watch?
I love them, man. I'm just so excited that college ball is back. I'm just happy that some of these kids is going to get an opportunity, man, to be seen and make some money. This is really what it's about, and get educated. That's a blessing, man.
It is, and these kids are getting their year back. If you can, fellas, man, get your master's degree if you're a senior. Big shout out to my man Jordan Dingle, whose season was taken away. He's an Ivy League player. Those kids at the Ivy, unfortunately, do not get that year back, but they get the Ivy League degree. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, still going to get benefit of it. But,
yeah,
I think at the end of the day, man, be smart about what you're doing. Make sure you take care of your academics. Take advantage of the system. We got the likeness and kids being able to get paid for that stuff coming around. So be conscious, do your research, man. Get your cost of attendance money and benefit off the system like it benefits off you and use this time. High school kids, you don't have to take the SAT. That's going to make you more attractive to more schools. So do your homework. Coaches, get your film up. Reach out to these people, man. The opportunity is out there. We're still in a pandemic, folks. The vaccine is coming around. Know what you're putting in your body. They talking about giving people $1,500 to take the vaccine. So, be conscious, be aware, be healthy, man. I know it's not on topic, but we got a lot of stuff going on, man. Just want to make sure our people stay woke and stay conscious, man.
Definitely.
Thanks for consuming the content. Yo, big shout out to the team. Check out the podcast, Apple TV, Spotify, YouTube, bcomtv.com. Shout out to D Jones, City Legends, Jerry Ice, the team, True Smith, happy birthday. Who you shouting out, Al?
Shout out to Darnell Lee, my partner, executive producer, Brilliant Minds. Man, we just got projects, man. We working, man. We ain't really talking, we working, man. Shout out to him, man. Happy birthday. God bless you, brother.
Shout out True Smith. Happy birthday, my brother. Shout out to this Decisions team. We working. We was filming this weekend. Probably put it back out in another 2-3 weeks. So be looking out for that. Shout out to Off the Grid. We're definitely working. We should be putting one of those shows out in the next 2-3 weeks. Bottom to the Top Hoops. We're moving forward, man. Might have a situation soon. So, just keep us in your prayers as we keep y'all in ours, and we're going to keep it moving and keep pushing.
And who was the last person you shouted out?
Shout out to the man upstairs.
Yo, man, appreciate you. We out.